Hello lovely simmers and welcome back to another tour of one of my recreations. Today we'll be having a look into the Monticello, which is near Charlottesville, Virginia. It was built by Thomas Jefferson, who is, I should hope you know, the third president of the United States in 1972. He built it in 1972. It was from land that he inherited. The Monticello was a plantation, and I would like to get this out of the way with. I've had a few comments that have said that it's wrong to be building a building like this and putting it on Sims. But at the end of the day, the recreations I'm doing, they are there because they're historical, they're lovely buildings, and from a builder's point of view, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm not one to disregard history, and I think maybe we should all be a little bit more aware that this did happen. So why does it matter how we express ourselves? It's not a lovely part of history. It's not something that anybody may particularly like to remember, but maybe we should. Maybe we should remember it a bit more, because then we could be kinder, we could be nicer people to everyone around us. So anyway, as I've been having my little rant, you had a quick tour of the outside of the building. I think overall this was a really, really good build. It was really easy. I was lucky I had all the information I needed at the tip of my fingers. There was a virtual tour that is available online, and I will make sure the link is added. But it made everything really nice to make. This was quite a chilled out build. It really did just flowed really nicely. I've got lots of the interior was done as best as I could. There are lovely grounds onto the Monticello, which I didn't get to add, because I did choose to do this one on a slightly smaller plot than I usually do. But it seems to have done pretty well here. I mean, we've got this bit out the back, which I feel like it made it look a little bit grander. This is a part of the Get Famous world. It's where Judith Ward lives, and she's still in there. I don't know what she's doing now, but probably, I don't know. She was using the chessboard a minute ago. Alright, anyway, so as I've already said, I was really lucky. There were so many pictures available and the floor plan that this really was a lovely build. It was simple, and I got so much detail. Not as much as I would like, but I think the best way to show you would be if I come up here. You see my little lady statues here? Well, not statues, they're busts, but apparently there's always something. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in pretty much every video there is always something that just doesn't quite seem right. Anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, I managed to get lots of details with the statues, and even with the beds, like where they were and what they looked like. It was really good to have so many pictures. It made it so easy, and it was a lovely build. All the beds are usable. I have got curtains in front of quite a few of them, but they are easily used. So yeah, I have before put an archway in front of one of them for one of my other designs, and unfortunately that doesn't work. It looks good. It looks really good. So we got lots of rooms. We got like a parlour, a tea room, we've got a bar, a music area. I mean, the archways I was talking about are on this build, and we get a little bit confused here. So like I said, it does look good, and I forgot to take out this room was actually Thomas Jefferson's room, and it leads into his study with a sort of, this bit here I put in the dividers, but it was more like a sort of sliding door that you could open from both sides, and it leads straight out into the library as well. And we even have a little greenhouse attached here, which was sweet. Considering it's indoors, I weren't too sure about it, but I do like it, like a greenhouse attached. And we go upstairs. We've got lots of open areas upstairs. We've got a few rooms, but I like these open bits. It wasn't completely clear whether they had fences around them so you could see down, and ultimately for this one I think it's probably a good thing you might not have been able to see down into that bedroom personally. And we've got a few of the bedrooms, and as I've said, I was really lucky to get pictures of most of these rooms. Okay, Judith is like out there saying hello to the paparazzi, so we know what she's doing now. This bed here, this one I really fell in love with. I can't remember whose room it was, but it was a really sweet bed, and it had the curtains around the outside. Obviously it actually looks quite different from this, but I recreated it how I could. And as you can tell, I use BB Move Objects cheat, and that was a floating chest of drawers there. We have a nursery. This nursery, there are pictures. It had so many beds in it. I just didn't know what to do, but they were lovely. They were all stacked all over the place. You could slide them under each other. So that was really sweet. Because this is really a quick tour. It's quite a small build compared to some others that I've done. It's partly why I chose to do it, because it's one I have a lot to say about, in all honesty. And upstairs we have the children's room. It's got a lot more little decoration, and apparently Judith has not been happy. I mean, she doesn't like children, so that might have something to do with it, that she just did not like that castle. And then we have the famous round room. It is bright yellow, which is lovely. Unfortunately, in the virtual tour, it was actually empty, with maybe a few chairs dotted around. So this was of my own design. And there was also, towards the pictures, there's a little cupboard that sort of drops down, which is really sweet. But I didn't put it in because of, one, because of the drop, and two, it took away from the shape of the building. That it sort of appears underneath, in a little door that goes underneath the roof. But unfortunately, we can't do that in The Sims. And that is it. Nice quick one anyway. I think the most iconic bit about this is probably obviously our beautiful archways. That really is something that says this building is what it's meant to be, as well as our little fences around the outside. They were difficult. You can see I've got lots of different roof shapes. The roofs actually look a little bit taller, however, to be able to show the fencing around, I had to move it down a bit. So we've got a few bits like this that don't particularly seem to move in together, but it does make the whole thing look better because I've managed to recreate what I can. Anyway guys, thanks for listening. I will make sure I add the link so you can have a look at the virtual tour. There's lots of history on there, quite a bit of reading, but it is an amazing tour, to be honest. It's a really good one to keep an eye out for, or if you've only got about 10 minutes, that's alright. You can, yeah. Right, well thank you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a suggestion, whatever you think guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I apologise for my rant, and unfortunately we are probably in the winter, which is why the flowers are dead outside, but at least the rain went away before I started recording. Have a good day guys.